Welcome back. Well, Jim Luzar joins us from the Vigo County Purdue Extension office, and you're here to tell us about some really interesting things that farmers need to know about leases.
Yes, Abby. We're trying to wind up the harvest. It's been a difficult process with the rain and the late maturing crops, but as farmers in the Wabash Valley are looking to complete harvest in the next few weeks, or if they have not already, the issue then becomes in terms of looking to 2010 as far as the lease arrangement between a tenant and landlord. So one of the things we would like to strongly suggest is get the lease in writing between a tenant and landlord. It's amazing how many verbal leases are out here in the area, and it's actually a binding lease in Indiana law. You and I could strike up a lease, and you could agree that I could farm your property, and it'd be binding in court. The problem comes up with a verbal lease is that there can be misunderstandings about the lease terms. There could be an accident or death or injury where the person that executed the lease is not there and present to actually interpret the lease. So we really strongly suggest to get your lease in writing for both the benefit of the landlord and the tenant. Now, we have also information at Purdue Extension Vigo County office about leasing arrangements, a sample farm lease to give a person an idea about what could be included in a lease and what they may want to include in terms of the parameters of the lease. We also have information about leasing arrangements, the legal aspects of leases. Now, we do encourage persons to check with their legal counsel as far as the the legalities of their lease and make sure they have that. Also, interest in terms of flexible leases where a person may pay a base level of cash rent, and then based on the performance and or prices of the crop in 2010, there might be an adjustment between a tenant and landlord. Or crop share, just the dimensions of the crop share lease. We have a lot of 2/3, 1/3 share leases in the Wabash Valley, and that's still a very popular lease. So the main point here today is, though, we want to encourage people to get it in writing, get that lease in writing, take a look at your lease, whether you're a tenant or a landlord. If you have a lease that's a term lease that maybe is just a one-year lease, that's going to expire, and if it was a term lease that was written a couple years ago, you really need to update that lease and, again, get it in writing. And we're just offering services. We won't write your lease for you with the Extension office in the Wabash Valley area, but with Purdue Extension. But we have a lot of good resources, so give us a contact if you have questions. We also have a lease study in terms of looking at average cash rents. We've been doing that at Purdue for a couple decades now. So, again, just give us a call or send us an email.
So you can kind of guide people through it. I think that's a great service. Thank you so much, Jim. And coming up after the break, meteorologist David Ware gives us another look at our Thanksgiving Eve forecast. But first up, here's another look at all that information for the Purdue Extension office. They can help you with your farm rental. There's a website and a phone number. You're watching